Good evening, everyone, and welcome to a regularly scheduled meeting of the Penfield Zoning Board of Appeals. Tonight's meeting is being video recorded and is also being broadcast live on the Town of Penfield's website, which is penfield.org. Also on the Town of Penfield's Government Access Channel 1303, and on streaming media devices Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. You can search Penfield TV in your device's app store and find the app and know that it is free. If anyone would like to comment and address the board on any public hearing matter tonight, there are going to be specific opportunities to do that for each matter after the board responds to the applicant's presentation. Anyone that wants to come up, that's here and present, wants to come up to one of these tables. We use them both occasionally, but we'll ask you to come up and give us your name and address, and then go ahead and speak your mind on the particular matter. Other folks that are home or wherever they are can call in 340-8771 with a comment, and we'll keep note of that. Someone will tell us if there's somebody that has a comment, and you can also submit a comment or question electronically, once again through the town's website, penfield.org. Tonight's meeting, we're going to first do our work session, which is going to be to talk about any tabled matters that we may have and address any concerns like that. And then we'll talk about tonight's application just to make sure that we don't have any questions for clarity purposes. Once we're done with that, we'll go right into the public hearings for tonight's applications. By the way, before I forget, and Andris has to remind me, as he always does, there is one application that is, at the request of the applicant, put off till next month, and that's 51 Woodfield Drive, the one that has to do with the batting cage. So if anybody's here for that, that's going to be heard next month. But in any event, we like to say each and every month that we think the town does a really good job of informing its citizens and members of the public that applications are going to be on the agenda. And the town does that so people realize that they can come in or call or now go through the computer and comment on it. That's the way things are supposed to work. Everyone has a right to do that, and we encourage it, and we try to get the word out as best we can. How do we do that? Well, the town sends postcards to people that live within a certain number of feet of the subject property. The town has the applicant post a sign on the property. We've all seen them, I think. The town posts its agenda on the website, and I always ask every month that we still post it on the bulletin board here in Town Hall. Good.
And in the Webster Herald.
And in the Webster Herald. What about the Penfield Herald?
I don't think there is one anymore.
I know. I know. But thank you. All right, so anyways, we think it worked. We're glad when people come up with comments. It helps us do our job, and we appreciate it. So that having been said, I'd ask everyone to rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Great, thank you very much. And we will go right into the agenda for tonight. I think we have minutes from last meeting. So if everyone's had them and reviewed them, we have a motion on those.
Motion to approve is written.
Second.
Any further discussion on the minutes? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. The first tabled application is the RG&E application on Empire Boulevard. Once again, I think the applicant has asked that that be continued.
Yes.
All right, I'll make a motion to table that at the request of the applicant.
I'll second.
Okay, I think we're going to go with Andris for the second. I made the motion. Motion to table, all those in favor?
Aye.
And then the second application on tonight also is going to be, did we actually table it the first time, or did we just kind of?
I think we actually tabled it.
Did we? Okay, well then, once again, this applicant 1801 and 1787 Fairport 9 Mile Point Road, also known as Route 250 to me anyway, is asked that that be tabled as well. So I'll make a motion to table.
I'll second that one.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, so as far as tonight's applications go, as I said, we have the one that's been put off, but let's start with number one on the agenda, 1280 Creek Street. Anybody have any questions for clarification on that one?
The only one I have is maybe more for Andy. Is this strictly the driveways that are what's encroaching? And if there were no driveways, they wouldn't be here?
Well, it's the driveways and the parking lot as well.
Okay. But the parking lot's not causing the 0 setback, it's the driveway in, from what I understand, from looking at the plans.
Yeah,
Basically?
the driveway's the closest thing
Okay.
to the edge of the district, yeah.
Okay, any other questions for clarification on that one? No. Our number 2, Salt Road. All right, number 3's been put off. Number 4, Meadowview Drive. Anybody have any questions for clarification there? Nope. 5. Any questions for clarification on Empire?
No.
By the way, I thought John Mancuso was going to be. Anybody talk with John Mancuso other than me?
I haven't talked to him in a while.
Maybe he's on the way. Maybe he's, like other people, forgot that we started at 6 o'clock. But he has circulated a proposed resolution on the tower. Everybody get that?
No.
Okay. Well, maybe circulated was too strong a word. But do you have it? You got a copy of it?
Yep.
Can we get that out to everybody and
Sure.
for review? And I've looked at it and I'm fine with it. But you guys take a look at it, and if you have any comments, if you can turn it over within a day, that'd be great. So I'm getting it.
Yep.
Okay? He may be coming in on that tonight. I hate to have him come in now, but he's probably already on his way. But, okay, in any event, if we see John come in, let's pause and tell him he can go home. I'll try to text him. Okay, so let's go right then into the public hearings, and may we have the first application, please?
Marathon Engineering, 39 Cascade Drive, Rochester, New York, 14614. On behalf of Blessed Hope Community Church, requests approval for an area variance to allow the development of a property for a new church building and associated site improvements with less buffer than required under Section 250-7.2-A of the code at 1280 Creek Street. The property is currently or formerly owned by Blessed Hope Community Church and is zoned limited business. SBL number 093.15-1-2.115. This is application 22Z-0051.
Okay. Thank you there, Andy. And I should have also said that the board has received very thorough, detailed written applications from everybody. We've reviewed them, gone to see the property if necessary. So what we like to do is have a particular board member that's assigned as lead to walk the applicant through the process. And that doesn't mean people can't and shouldn't speak their mind, but we just found it to be a little bit more efficient for the most part. So what we'll do with everyone is ask you to give your name and address, and then whoever on the board is lead on this will walk you through, okay? Again, we've all looked at the thorough written applications, so that makes it a little bit more efficient. So we're ready to go with Andris, I guess.
Yeah. I think the applicant's going to state their names first, right? Introduce themselves?
You are right.
Okay.
See, the
Go
young
ahead, guys.
kids like to show me up. Not hard to do, but okay. Yes.
My name is Rafael Barreto with Marathon Engineering, and this is my client.
I'm John Wursbacher, pastor with Blessed Hope Community Church.
Excellent. So you guys had a really thorough application, and just tailing off my question for Andy before, when I was looking at the site plan, you guys are looking for basically a 0 setback to the southern line but everything I saw in there, I saw 14 feet as the closest for the parking stalls, I guess, in the one corner. Is it because of the curb cuts that are going in and the driveway that hits the road? Is that what's causing the 0-foot setback?
My understanding is the zoning code includes driveways as far as that improvement is concerned, so those curb cuts do essentially force us to require a 0-foot setback.
Okay. So if I was just a person driving down the road looking out, I wouldn't see a car parked right at the edge of Penn Web. I would see, I guess, sidewalk and then a little space and then most likely the parking stalls before
Yes, there's a 5-foot sidewalk, and then we are going to be planting trees along that row, and then the parking lot after that.
Okay.
So,
okay.
yes.
So it's just more, as it reads, it says 0 foot. So just, for anyone that's seen this or is watching, know that it won't be right against the road. You're still going to have grass and some landscaping as well, and then the parking lot. Just as you drive down the road,
correct.
you see other establishments that have a similar setup along the side of the road.
Yes.
Okay. And so the reason you guys had the 0 foot is because your entrances are off Penn Web and not off Creek Street, correct?
Yes. The shape of the parcel kind of makes things a little bit difficult as far as placing the building and staying within the other setbacks. After playing around with it a little bit, we kind of decided that coming in off Penn Web was going to make things easiest with the current lay of the site. It was going to give us a good spot to place the parking lot near the building so that the building we would not have to come to you for a building variance if we flipped the site around and connected to Zovern or to Creek Street. It would kind of, it would harm more than it would help.
Sure. And so the building doesn't require any setback variances. There's no variances. We're strictly looking at the parking area.
Yes, that's correct.
Which is flat, which will still have some trees planted around there as well. And then as we get closer to the residential on the east side, that's actually going to be water mitigation area where it's going to stay undeveloped.
Yes.
So as you get closer to the actual residential homes, that's going to stay undeveloped, and you're keeping your structures in the parking closer to Creek Street side,
Yes.
correct?
The majority of the east side of the lot there's an existing pond that essentially services several nearby properties. As part of this development, we're going to be making some small improvements to that, but other than that, it's going to remain as is.
Okay. So in terms of for drainage and things like that, from the new impervious surface, that will all still be mitigated
Yes.
based on that area over there?
Yep, it will all be serviced by that pond as well.
Okay, so there shouldn't be any other impacts from
No.
that area? Okay. I think that's all I've got. It's pretty straightforward on this one.
Are there homes there? And the other image that you had up a moment ago,
Which side? So the south is the bottom side.
the bottom right,
The bottom right, that's where you get into where there be, going
there's
that way.
homes
There
there.
are residences, there is a residence just to the east.
Yeah, that's it.
separated by that
There you go, right
pond.
there.
Yep.
Okay. But the property, the parking lot that you're talking about is not going to knock down any trees there, so it's going to be
No.
further to the left.
Yeah, we intend to keep as much of that remaining as possible. We've basically been asked to manicure the existing foliage around this pond and clean it up a bit.
And then this is very similar to the parking lot that's on the opposite side of the road there.
Yes.
And there's no issues with the traffic flow or anything like that that building has experienced that you're
Not to my
aware of?
knowledge.
Sorry. Did you?
That's good, no.
Good?
I think we're set, yeah.
Any other questions from the board?
No.
I don't.
I do have a question.
Go right ahead. I'll check yours.
Yeah. So have you spoken was there any feedback from the property owners that are adjacent?
I don't believe we've received any comments. Have you?
No, we haven't.
No. Okay. I think the only thing that I know is our company is talking with the neighbors on the north side, and they were pretty content. They were pretty happy to have a church as a neighbor. That's the only real thing that I can say. I haven't heard anything from the neighbors to the east.
Okay, the only thing that I would add, and I'm sorry I had to step out for a minute, but this is probably the second or third time in the last 5 or 6 years that this property's been the subject of an application, and everything, I think, for the most part, was ultimately approved. I think something was denied, but they came back. But fingers crossed, it'd be nice for the property to be used in some manner.
Yeah. be good for
Okay,
the
I
church.
don't see any phone calls. I don't see any electronic submissions, so I'd ask anyone in the audience that cares to speak about this? No? Okay, then we will proceed with the consideration, starting with the environmental.
Okay, I'm going to issue a neg deck on this unlisted action.
Second.
All right, any further discussion? We have a motion by Andris to declare it an unlisted action and further to issue a negative declaration, and a second by Matt. Further discussion on the seeker? All those in favor?
Aye. Okay, and then on the merits, I'm going to move that we approve this application. From what we're seeing around here, the areas around there are very similar in terms of how the parking is closer to the road. They are trying to limit the amount of impact they have on the residential side of the property. And so where they are abutting that, that's going to stay undeveloped area as well. In terms of the environmental impacts, they've already talked about the fact that it's going to be impervious surface. It's going to be mitigated through the drainage plans and their stormwater management plan. For that, it is a substantial variance because it is a 0-foot setback, but from when you drive by, you're still going to see sidewalk, grass, then parking lot, just like other area businesses in the same area. And so with that, I move to approve.
I'll second.
All right, motion to approve, Andris, second by Laura. Any further comments? The only thing that I would just add to your comment is not only is it going to look nice, if you will, even though it's a 0-foot setback, it's also, there's not the safety concern, as you were pointing out, with a car being right there. So, okay, good. All right, we have a motion to approve in a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
No one opposed? Okay, good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Number 2.
Brent Rothfuss, 1953 Salt Road, Fairport, New York, 14450. Requests approval for area variances under Section 250-14.3 of the code to allow an existing residence with less setback than required under Section 250-5.1-F1 of the code, an existing barn that is larger than allowed under Section 250-5.1-F12A of the code, with less setback than required under Section 250-5.1-F12B of the code at 1911 Salt Road. The property is currently or formerly owned by Brent and Floyd Rothfuss and is zoned RA-2, SBL number 125.04-1-8.11. This is application 22Z-0052.
Okay, again, if we could have your names and addresses for the record, and then we'll launch into it.
Good evening, Al LaRue, McMahon LaRue Associates. Brent Rothfuss, the owner, is here also with me.
Okay.
All right, good evening, gentlemen. So this is a subdivision that has been, conditionally approved by the planning board, conditioned upon you receiving, it looks like, 4 variances for the property.
That's correct.
And it's 1911 Salt Road. So on the site plan, this is what appears as lot number 2 on the map, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. And what's going to be going on with lot 1 and lot 3?
Lot 1 is the remaining lands, and Lot 3 is a parcel that's being conveyed to the uncle. So that's a small strip that's about 2 acres is going to be conveyed to the uncle, the Constance, Charles Constance. He's an uncle of the Rothfuss. And so the Lot 1 is just the remaining lands.
Okay. And there's a house that's 1,614 square feet, and then a barn that's 3,300 square feet, correct?
That's correct.
And the house was built in somewhere in the mid-1800s, and the barn late 1800s, early 1900s. Is that correct?
Yes.
So these are historical structures.
Yeah.
You're not building anything new on here.
Correct.
It's been
Yeah.
quite a number of years that they've been on. Are you proposing any change or alteration to the structures?
No.
Okay. So by all counts, someone driving by this residence is going to look at it, and it's going to look exactly the same today as it is tomorrow if this is granted, right?
That's correct, yeah.
Okay. And then the only reason, Andy, just to be clear, that there's need these variances is because it's a pre-existing non-conforming property, but the subdivision requires them to now come and get the variances. Is that
Correct, yes.
Okay. I have nothing further.
All right, before I open it up to other board members, just remind folks they can call 340-8771 or submit a comment or question through the Penfield.org website. Any other questions from the board?
No.
No? Okay, anybody in the audience care to speak about this application? All right, I see no calls, I see no emails, so let's go with considering.
All right, for seeker, I'd make a motion to declare this a type 2 action requiring no further review.
I'll second.
All right, we have a motion by Matt to declare it type 2 under seeker and a second by George. Just beat you.
Yeah, it's okay.
Any further discussion on seeker? All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
So for the merits, I'm going to lump all four of the applications in the same one. I'm going to make a motion to approve it. There's no change in this property. It's been there for, I haven't done the math, but well over, potentially even 200 years, but well over 150 years. There's going to be no change to the property. They're not looking to move or change anything. They're solely looking at this because they're subdividing a parcel, or I guess, into 3 parcels. So nothing's going to change with the harmony of the neighborhood. It's not going to be detrimental. There's going to be no issues at all. So I would make a motion to approve all 4 variances.
I'll second.
Okay, motion to approve by Matt with a second by Andris. Anybody want to add anything to that before we vote? I would, and my thought is that if you were to take the stuff down, you'd probably
it's
be
historical.
Yeah. You would be creating a detriment to the neighborhood.
especially where it's located in East Penn.
Yeah. All right, so we have a motion to approve and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, unanimous. Good luck. Thank you. As I said earlier, number 3, which is 51 Woodfield Drive, the batting cage has been put off till next month at the request of the applicant, so we're going to go to number 4.
Jordan Scharfe, 25 Meadowview Drive, Penfield, New York, 14526. Requests approval for an area variance under Section 250-14.3 of the code to allow a porch with less front setback than required under Section 250-5.1-F1 of the code at 25 Meadowview Drive. The property is currently or formerly owned by Jordan Alexander Scharfe and Amy Marie Spath and is zoned R-1-15. SBL number 139.11-2-1. This is application number 22Z-0054.
Okay, thanks. If we could have your name and addresses for the record, and then Laurel will walk you through it.
My name is Jordan Scharfe at 25 Meadowview Drive.
My name is Amy Spath at 25 Meadowview Drive.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. Got your application, extremely detailed. This is very helpful, thank you. Big picture, if you want to just tell us what you want to do.
Just put on a front porch. The previous porch that they had on there, we had to remove to fix some damage to the foundation and waterproof, and it was kind of an eyesore as well. It's quite large. I don't know if you guys seen the pictures of the previous one, but it's...
I have not seen the pictures of the previous ones, do you?
If you want me to pass it around, or... And that was one that did not have a permit to build that one initially.
I did not see that.
Yes, that's what we came into.
So you tore that down?
Yeah, we had to take that out to do a little waterproofing. And so now the house doesn't have any porch or anything in the front, which is also an eyesore.
That's,
So we're just trying to
that's what I saw.
put a little 6x10 porch on there. Just no roof over, just railings and I think 2 or 3 steps.
Okay. And part of the request is because of the lot and the...
Yes, because it is, you need that 50-foot right away from the road, and the house itself is 50 feet and 8 inches, so not a lot of room to build. So to come from that, it will be smaller than what was previously there, which didn't have a permit for it to start with, so won't impact anything negatively, that's for sure.
Moved into the neighborhood. Have your neighbors said anything about you taking down the old porch?
No,
putting up the new one?
most of the neighbors did not like the old one either, and they're all happy we're trying to get a new one on there, but had to go through the process.
Now, obviously, this is something that's self-created in the sense that you are looking to put the porch on, but it's in the character of the neighborhood. It's something that you think is going to add value. You mentioned that in your application. Anything else that you would want us to know about this?
It's gonna build it to code, going through, I got everything you need for it, and then all I will do is put a little walkway going to it out of the patio blocks. And other than that, it'll be the very similar front porch to most of the houses in the neighborhood, and similar in size and style. So try to keep it looking nice.
Sounds good. I didn't have any other questions.
Okay, any other questions from the board?
I think the only thing I'd add is no matter what you did to the front of this house, you would require a variance. If you're
Yeah,
beyond
you can't have
8/10 of a foot. And also by this being smaller, it's more in compliance than it was previously, although I guess it wasn't in compliance at all because it didn't have a permit, so.
And the previous one, if you can see on the survey map, it had the patio blocks covering twice as much as just the porch was.
Okay, anybody in the audience care to speak about this application? No, well, let's proceed. I don't see any phone calls or electronic submissions, not a shocker. So let's go to the seeker.
So I would declare this a type 2 action pursuant to seeker.
I will second that. Motion by Laura to declare it a type 2, requiring no further review, and a second by me. Further comment? All those in favor?
Aye.
Now to the merits.
On the merits, I would vote to approve based on it's in concert with the neighborhood. It's, I think that Andris mentioned being anything that you would put on the front of the house would require some type of variance. And so while it's a little bit of a larger variance, at the same time, it is also to make it functional. I would also say that while self-created, it also is something that's going to improve the home, and it doesn't stick out or have any other type of eyesore to the neighborhood. So based on that, I would motion to approve.
Second.
Gosh, you're just getting beat out today.
So motion approved by Laura. Maybe we should have a buzzer.
That's right.
A motion approved by Laura, second by Matt. Any further discussion? Very well articulated, by the way. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, unanimous. Good luck.
Thank you.
And number 5 on the agenda.
Mauricio Hernandez, 70 Attridge Road, Churchville, New York, 14428. Requests approval for a conditional use under Section 250-13.3 and Section 250-5.7-C1A of the code to allow the operation of a restaurant, Don Pedro Cantina, at 1900 Empire Boulevard. The property is currently or formerly owned by DeMarco Baytown Associates, LLC, and is zoned general business. SBL number 093.02-1-23.11. This is application number 22Z-0055.
Okay, may we have your name and address for the record, and then George will walk you through this.
Yeah, my name is Mauricio Hernandez. This is 1900 Boulevard, Empire, in Webster, 14580.
Okay, thanks.
Great. Well, thanks so much for coming in. The application was very detailed, so I appreciate that. We were able to extract out of it. If you just walk us through what your intention for the property is, please.
Yeah, so I'm pretty much literally doing what the previous owner who we're doing there, just with a little bit more experience on the business now. We are to create what is going to be the first Mexican brewery, so we're going to continue doing, having the brewery that it was up there, but just changing it a little bit. Same thing, we're doing the food and the bar with the liquor. Pretty much it's the same thing when it was there. We haven't changed nothing other than the cuisine that is going to be there now.
Gotcha. So the seating capacity and overall layout will be pretty much the same?
Same thing.
Gotcha. Now, I did note that you've got a request here for outdoor seating. Is there currently outdoor seating?
There is on the right side, there is an outdoor seating that it was previously there.
Gotcha. And any outdoor type music, entertainment plans? Okay.
No.
Any change to the lighting?
No. I mean, just some deco inside, decorated a little bit more art style, but nothing crazy.
Yeah. So in essence, you are replacing a restaurant with a restaurant of identical type?
Yes.
Okay. Excellent. I don't have any additional questions.
Okay, again, folks can call in 340-8771 or submit an electronic comment, penfield.org. Any other questions from the board?
Hours of operation? Proposed?
We're gonna hit the lunch from 11 to 9, so we're gonna try to extend a little bit the hours. Before it was just 5 to 9, 4 to 9. It was more on the beer drinking side. We're implementing a little more on the food service.
Thank you.
Is this the second in Rochester, or?
No, this is actually the first one, Don Pedro Cantina. So I had many different ones in other names. I used to be in Penfield, Henrietta, Scottsville, Chi-Light. Now I'm first time coming to Webster. So
There is one in Penfield?
no,
He said
I
it
had
used to be
different
there.
names. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I had other ones in Penfield, 441.
Honestly, I thought that you operated the one in the East End there on
Oh, yeah, East
East and
End.
Alexander.
It's in Alexander. Yeah. But that was Don Pedro Mexican Soul Food.
That's not you. Right, that's not you? Or is it you? Do you operate that?
Yeah. No, that was me. Yeah, but on the Cantina side is the first one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Yes, it's a different. It's a whole different LC and identity. Now we're
Yeah,
focusing more, on the sports bar.
More of a sports bar.
Yeah.
What's your flagship beer going to be?
What was that?
What's your flagship beer going to be? It's the first beer you brew.
So we have few of them. We have a few of our recipes that we have from Cancun that we make our own. So it'll be a lager.
Okay.
It'll be more towards the Corona, kind of like that style. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do in there. And yeah, so we were on the city before. We were blessed by able to sell that place. So now we're just doing the Cantina now.
Okay, Andy, could you go back to the picture? I just want to ask about the sign.
In the front? Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that sign there where it says Witchcraft Brews, are you just going to replace that with your
Yeah,
own sign?
that is, I don't know if Andy has some, the pictures where we send them where that whole Witchcraft Brew is going down. We're actually gonna, size-wise, we're gonna go a little smaller. And it's gonna be on the side of the building. So pretty much the sign that you saw on downtown, that's the one. that
You're
we-
repurposing that sign?
Yeah, we're gonna put over here. Yeah, I mean, it's like I said, it's smaller than what they had in here, Witchcraft Breweries, so it works.
And do you know right now whether you're going to be on any of the big Baytown Plaza signs?
Yes, yeah, that's where. Well, that's from them. So they asked for the logo and the whole thing, but there's a whole group. Part of the lease, there's a charge in there for marketing.
Okay.
And I believe that's what they put it towards. To put it towards a little advertisement on the towers and things like that. But that's them.
I'm not aware of any issues or complaints that were ever lodged about the operation there.
What
There
were
were
the
times I couldn't
previous-
get in, that kind of ticked me off a little bit, but.
What were the previous hours of operation? 11 to 9, or?
No, they were from 4.
They didn't do lunch, right?
4, no, they didn't do lunch. So it was like 4 to close. I think it was like 10 or 11.
Okay. All right. Any other questions from the board? Once again, nothing submitted via phone or email. Anyone in the audience care to speak about this? No. Okay, well then we will proceed to consider it.
Yes, I would move to call this a type 2 for seeker.
I'll second.
All right. George has made a motion under seeker to declare it a type 2 action. Matt has seconded that. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, now the application.
Well, in terms of the merits, I would recommend approval. We're replacing one restaurant with another, basically identical in size. The only difference will be the number of hours that they're open. So at this point, since we've gone through the process of having a restaurant there approved in the past, I would recommend we move forward and do that for this run as well.
I'll second.
All right, so we have a motion to approve by George and a second by Andris. Any further discussion? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, good luck.
Thank you.
Good luck.
I think that was the last application for tonight, so I think we covered everything on the agenda. So if we're good, then good job, good work. We'll see you next month. Thank you all very much.
Have a good night.
Have a good night.